Hello guys, welcome back to Hey Manager, I'm Alex, and it is a very late one, but Game Week 7 is upon us. Game Week 6 went pretty well, but now it's time to look at how we can do better and try and still get better, because in the last few game weeks we've been doing pretty well. We've got Fulham and Bournemouth tonight. Let me try and get this out before preferably 6 o'clock so I can give you a bit of an update where I'm up to. So, into it here. Last week was pretty good. I had a pretty decent week. As you can see here, we played our bench boost in the end, but overall, a pretty okay week. A week where I projected potentially for a lot of these games to swing my way, but it didn't happen in the end. So, Chelsea, they did lose 3-1 to Brighton. Welbeck with 2, De Kuyper with 1. They just didn't seem to play that great that game. And expected goals to concede, 2.28 for Chelsea. It was miles above. They didn't play well whatsoever. Welbeck had a great game, but I thought against Brighton at home at Stamford Bridge, they might be able to perform something, but they didn't in the end. Now, João Pedro didn't pick up a goal or an assist or anything in that game of that matter. He only had a 0.03 expected goal involvement. I'm starting to think, do we go away from him? But he has some tasty fixtures coming up, like a Sunderland, Wolves, Burnley, with Leeds as well in there. So a nice little run after maybe a difficult Liverpool and Forest game. But I'm contemplating whether or not I actually do get rid of him at this point in time. Tottenham, they did play Wolves, I believe, where it was 1-1. Interesting game overall. I think if you look at the way that Tottenham played, if we look at the overall profile for this one, Wolves expected goal involvement for Van de Ven 0.14, which is quite high in all honesty, but expected goals to concede 1.15. Wolves did play pretty well for the first half. Tottenham just didn't turn up. They were at home as well. I thought we might be able to get something out of it, but nothing to report there. Vicario only getting me 2 points off the bench, obviously with my bench boost being played. So again, losing out on a lot of key points there. Chelsea, I thought I might have been able to get 6 for Sanchez. A definite 12 out of Van de Ven and Vicario. Falling 8 shy. Really poor, to be honest with you. Then, Bournemouth, they had a pretty good game for us. Senesi getting an assist in that game. They did concede 2 against Wolves, but an assist. Defensive contributions, 15, so he got his 10 that he needed minimum. Got 15 in that game, which is major, and then a bonus point as well. So, Senesi doing well for us there. Semenyo as well, scoring the goal. Didn't get his... I thought he might have got his defensive contributions in that game, because it was quite a scrappy one. But if you look here, defensive contributions only the 7, 5 off. Difficult one. So starting to go away from my Bournemouth players. You can see here the fixtures coming up. They've got Fulham, Palace and Forest. Probably keep them in for those 3. Then I'll be looking to maybe shy away from them around the City and Villa game. But we'll see where City and Villa are at towards November. Then obviously they have another 2 weeks off just after that, and then following that they've got West Ham, Sunderland, Everton, Chelsea, United, Burnley, Brentford. Pretty much a lovely December, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll see how they fare with that. But Semenyo and Senesi doing the business for me, getting 14 points between them. We then let's go on to City. Aston Villa actually. Aston Villa conceded 1 against Fulham. Painful game. Fulham looked very good in the first half. Really good in the first half. But it didn't look that convincing overall, to be honest. So I thought we might be able to get something from this. Obviously, Mings went off early. He did pick up a thigh injury, so I think he's out for the foreseeable as well. 31 minutes played. Cash, 90 minutes played. Could have got an assist. It was a bit painful. But again, Mings and Cash. Mings picking up an injury, then Cash not conceding a goal, should I say, not getting the clean sheet bonus. It's just painful yet again, so losing out big time there. Watkins, though, getting us the goal, finally opening his goal-scoring account. He could have scored maybe 2 in that game, I think, but expected goals 0.29, took his chip very well. I think this might be him opening the door, basically. There's got a few difficult games coming up, be it Tottenham, City, Liverpool, Bournemouth, all back-to-back. Then Leeds, Wolves, Brighton and West Ham involved. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably slowly start getting my Aston Villa players out of the side. Watkins getting replaced by someone else if he doesn't really pick up the form that I think he will. Then let's see where we go from there. Other than that, in the midfield, we've got Forest. So Forest played Sunderland. They did concede. 59 minutes only for Ndoye, so only the 1 point. Then Grealish conceding again against West Ham. Very difficult this week for clean sheets. But West Ham scoring a goal against a very strong Everton side, to be honest. I don't think, let's just have a quick look. Expected goals conceded, yeah, West Ham had a decent game, but I don't think they looked anywhere near as threatening as they could have been. So Grealish getting 2, Ndoye getting 1, Foden getting 1 because he picked up a yellow card. Again, how he didn't get an assist or anything in throughout this game, I don't know. Expected goal involved at 0.17, but he looks a lot better than what he was. I think him against Brentford and Everton will be good. He's hitting the bar, he's coming close. I'm going to keep my faith in him. If he doesn't return, again, Doku to maybe potentially come in. Haaland picking up 2 goals and an assist. Unbelievable. 3 bonus points. Should have played my triple captain instead of my bench boost. I would have had more points from the triple captain than a bench boost, which is a bit of a shame. But I went big on the bench boost this week, thinking we might see a few results turn around for us. Then we've got the likes of Gakpo, who's only playing 45 minutes for Liverpool at the moment, and Chris Richards, getting his defensive contributions like he does every game. I thought there might have been something from this game, and yes, as you can see here, he's got defensive contributions pretty much every game, bar, 3. Sorry, so 8 and 8 in the first 2, which is close to the 10 that you need. Sunderland was an absolute, easy game for them where they dominated, so they didn't have anything in there. Well, Chris Richards doing the business for me. So 73 points overall in my first game week where I'm in the million, which is brilliant. This is what I want. Highest points 124, average 46, near enough like 27 over the average, which is brilliant for me. Climbing up the game week, the overall ranks to 2.5 million, so we're in the top. What's that? The top 20%, I want to say now. So, which is really good, which is exactly where I want to be. So then this week we've made a transfer. We have taken out Gakpo. Gakpo is no longer in my side. I don't think he's going to be involved that heavily in Liverpool's forwards now because they've got Wirtz, they've got Ekitike going, they've got the likes of Isaac now getting pretty fit as well. They've got Salah that they need to play. They've got all these type of forwards, and they've got the midfielders. They've got 3 midfielders in Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister. And I think that picking one of those 3 over Gakpo is going to be the theme going forwards. But I've brought in Minter. Now Minter has had a pretty good few last 3 games, especially for Brighton, where they seem like they're going to score pretty much every game. If you have a look at some of the results that we have a look at here, so obviously they drew with Fulham, they lost to Everton, they beat City, but if you look at some of the games that they play, I don't know how to actually get up the full history on here, if you can see the scores. But they actually, they played pretty well, to be honest with you. And Minter was 6 million at the start, 5.9 million now. I've brought him in because his form's been impeccable. 6.7 form, as you can see there, over the last 5 games. But he scored a goal against Tottenham. He got an assist against Bournemouth, assist against Chelsea. He looks like, against Everton could have got a big one there. City, it was quite high. Fulham, not as high, but first game of the season, so getting into gear. But he looks pretty good, and his defensive contributions aren't half bad. City got the 12 that he needed in that one in a big game. Then Bournemouth, Tottenham, Chelsea getting 6, and Everton getting 7. So close to getting maybe the 12 if he works harder. Mitoma's picked up an injury. Minter, I've brought him. They've got a pretty nice run of games if you think about it. Wolves, bottom of the table. Newcastle at home. I'd always put money on Brighton to score at home anyway now. United away, great game at the moment, even though I'm a United fan, great game. Leeds at home. Palace away is a difficult one, but then Brentford, Forest, Villa and West Ham. All of these games leading up to around about mid-December, and even towards the start of January, to be honest. They've got West Ham twice in December. I think they're pretty nice games to be playing. Nice games to be in there, out of form sides that are struggling. Let's see how we fare. But this week, I've got Watkins as my captain. I'm going to go full faith in him. I've put on João Pedro against Liverpool instead of putting Richards in against Everton. Going forwards, if we have a look, at the fixtures coming up and the actual fixture difficulty rating, I'd probably want to be loading up on maybe Chelsea players. I want to see how they play against Liverpool, but they've been a bit out of form, obviously. I think the 2 weeks that are going to be off for the international break are going to be good for Palmer. They can then play Sunderland. Tottenham away going to be difficult, but then Wolves and Burnley. Sunderland, Wolves, Burnley. Arsenal in between there, then Leeds, Bournemouth, Everton. You'd think Chelsea would have a good stretch here, so I might bring in players for that. Other than that, Leeds have a nice little run of games. Burnley, West Ham, Brighton, Forest, Aston Villa is a nice little run of games. United, you'd think maybe you could bring some of them players in if they find form, but I don't think they will. Other than that, there's quite a lot of difficult games going on around the bottom here. So you can see here a lot of Arsenal's, a lot of Liverpool's, your Forest, your Palaces, Bournemouths that you want to try and avoid from your Spurs, Sunderland, West Ham, Wolves players and your Forest players even. Newcastle, you could potentially bring players in if you think they're going to fight on. They look okay for now, but in the instant sort of the current form of the game, you're looking at bringing your Arsenal players in. I'll definitely be bringing in an Arsenal defender going forwards because West Ham, it'd be difficult for West Ham to score against Arsenal, especially at home. I think they're Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland. I reckon they can try and get a few clean sheets out of them games. Fulham, firing power is not brilliant. Palace, they look good. They look like they could score pretty much every game, but I think Arsenal's defence is just so good. So I'll bring someone in for that. Burnley, Sunderland, obviously 2 games there where you think Arsenal shouldn't concede. Then Tottenham at home, you think they might be able to do well. Other than that, you're looking at maybe bringing in Chelsea players, maybe a few Leeds players. City, I'd just bring in City strikers for now. And then other than that, it's pretty much anyone's game for the time being for the next few weeks. So I'll be looking at potentially bringing in some Arsenal players. Mings looks like he could go out, but I like the fact that I've got 4.5 million defenders at the back. Sanchez has lost $1 million, so again, selling him wouldn't be a great idea at the moment. Semenyo, maybe bringing him out. Do I try and jump early on it? I don't know, but we'll see on what we do with that one. But in terms of actually looking at Arsenal players and what form they're in, if you go to form, and then maybe even the ICT index, Raya you're not going to bring in because they've been conceding quite a bit of late. Gabriel would be a brilliant shout to bring in. Looks great at the moment, with a nice fixtures coming up as you can see there. Do you bring him in? He's picked up a knock. We'll have to see. I'll judge that after the international break. As well as that, maybe, Saliba would be a good one to bring in. He's bringing him back into the side after the injury now, so only played 45 minutes against Newcastle, but again, picking up a decent amount of points from the start of the season, but hopefully, let's see what we do with him. Otherwise, at the moment, I don't know who else to bring in. It's quite a difficult one because Gyökeres, do I think he's going to score? He scored 2 against Leeds, 1 against Forest. I don't really know. I don't know really where I sit with him. I don't think he's worth a £9 million price tag. As well as that, who else is going to be in there that you can think about? Do I bring in Rice? I quite like the idea of him getting the defensive contributions, getting assists from corners, especially against these sort of sides. Zubamendi likes to shoot from range. Eze at 7.6 million. Do I think he's going to, the expected goal involvements was a 0.51 against Newcastle, but didn't get any returns. Do I think he'll get a return? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think he's worth the 7.6 million for the time being. Martinelli comes off the bench. Odegaard's now back. Saka looks like he's now back. He's like going down in price from the 10 million. Do I want to invest in him that bit much now? I don't know. It'd probably be the best time to do so because he will be playing as many minutes as he can. As you can see here, 69 minutes against Newcastle. Obviously, they've been managing the Champions League football that they're playing. But let's see where we go from there. So there we go. That's pretty much everywhere where I'm at. In fact, just quickly, we're going to look at the game week rank. At the moment, we started out about 5 million, about halfway, 50% of the time. Of the way through out of everyone that plays, we finished in that game week rank of 4.8 million. So again, overall rank pretty bog standard, right in the centre. Obviously, more players have added in, joining every game week. Then we went all the way down to 7.7 million. Then a slow climb, a really slow climb, but a great climb. 7 million. Played my wild card in game week 3 because I had to. It was just a shocker, really, an absolute shocker. So definitely decided to play that. It was a great, best idea I've made. Then game week 4 was, 6 millionth going up to there, then 4.8 millionth, now 2.5 millionth after getting in my first time in the top million players for a game week. So great stuff, absolutely brilliant stuff. So happy with that. Going to try and see what I can do. If for next week, this is for this game week. For next week, I might see if I have to play my transfer. If I don't have to play it, I'll try and save up the 2. But for now, that's where we stand. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thank you for 314 sub-managers. Let's try and hit 400 for the new year. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Why not? I push myself for the next 2 months to try and hit that, especially with the Football Manager beta coming out. And I shall catch you in the next one. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all having a great day. And yeah, look forward to watching Bournemouth Fulham tonight. Ciao.